What's going on, Blunt Tears? It's your boy Desalegn.
Hey, wait, Pharaoh, what's going on? Today we have a special topic we want to talk about. This is a very touching topic for me too. Because a lot of men, suffer from this often and shit. So today we're talking about mental health, men's mental health, and we know like oftentimes men don't really have outlets that they can go to, people to talk to. So we just feel like today would be a special way to just put that out there.
Right. Most definitely. Men's mental health is important to their society. Of course, all people's mental health is important.
Yeah.
But specifically, why it's important to talk about men's specific mental health is because, from a point of view of a male, of course, as speaking as a male, as a man, you're expected to always just be hard on yourself. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Just live through the pain and just do what you got to do. But it's important to realize that we need tools personally to go through all of those things. And honestly, there's some, it's called the blunt of realities. Yeah. And the reality is, statistically, we got some stats we're going to go through later on in this episode. But statistically, men are really going through a lot. And, it's hard for them to talk about it because of pride and also not being able to give them the space that they need to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely important. It's something that nobody really likes to talk about like that because, you don't want to seem like, hey, you know what, stop complaining, because we're in an era where everybody's complaining about certain things or whatever, but there's a lot of people, specifically men, who suffer in silence, and they need tools to get through it.
That's true. And also, when it comes to mental health, right, I know a lot of people like to talk things out. I feel like as a man, when you think about it, it's better to do certain things instead of speaking about certain things. For example, we talk about the gym and shit a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's important. Mm-hmm. Going outside, getting sunlight, even talking to people too. But there's a lot of things that you can do to somehow, mitigate these feelings of depression or anxiety. Yeah.
Can we slow it down real quick?
Okay.
Because you sped over a couple of things. All right. You said exercise. You said sunlight. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna add on and say
diet.
Grounding.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
That just popped up in my head and all of that. Mm-hmm. So exercise, it's basically scientifically proven that exercise releases chemicals into the body that helps out with all type of depression and anxiety.
It's called the hope molecule, yo. That's interesting as hell, yo.
Yeah. And the sun, that's another thing. A lot of times people, even during certain seasons, it's called depressional, seasonal depression.
Yeah.
Where are not getting enough sunlight. Mm-hmm. Like literally, the sun gives you a certain type of energy that you need so that you stop being sad or depressed, whatever have you. Grounding, another thing. I wish I had the scientific statistics for that pulled up, but y'all could do your own research on that. But it's what do the scientists call it? It's nonsense, right? Mm-hmm. Because there was a scientist who was like, yo, I want to know what grounding is and whether it has effect on the human body. So basically, if you take your bare feet and you walk literally on bare ground grass, there's an energy that goes into your body that's
almost instantaneous.
Yeah, instantaneously. That's electrical. It helps you. It gets you healthier, and it also does a whole bunch of other stuff as far as that's positive for your body. A lot of people don't know about this type of things, and the reason why they stopped that study, or a lot of people who study it are like, I want to lean away from that because they can't explain it. And I think it leans more towards spirituality as far as when it comes to the earth, when it comes to what God created. But, everybody could have their own speculations. But a lot of these things that have to do with mental health in general, to be honest, because right now we're talking in general, can help with any sort of depression. Specifically, right now, today, it's about men's mental health.
Yeah.
And I feel like those types of things are tools that people can use at least 1, 2, 3 before they, go into further means of self-medication holistically or naturally,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So the impact and why is this important as far as when it comes to mental health? Why is it? Why is it? You let them know.
I mean, it's important because at the end of the day, if something is impacting you out throughout the entire of your day, right? You won't be able to do certain things in public, like you would normally do. So, like a lot of men, they suffer in silence, and on top of that, they don't have that outlet where they can express themselves without any feelings of looking down on. Because a lot of times, that happens with us. But it's interesting because like 1 in 5 men experience mental illness each year. So that's something that's not talked about at all.
Can I
Right?
add on to that?
Yeah, of course.
1 in 2 men will experience mental health disorder in their lifetime.
Yeah.
That's pretty like out of this world
Yeah.
right there. That means, like, yeah, if we talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s, it's like, hey, keep your chin up, kid.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Come on, go ahead, have a beer, shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like when we have to break these things down to a science, right? Because men are leaders in households, and it's important to highlight the importance that all men actually at a certain point in their lifetime go through.
Yeah.
You can keep going, my fault. I just want
But no, you made an interesting point though, because at the end of the day, we are the ground to the household, right?
Right.
Now, if you want your house to be ran properly, you need someone who's physically fit, not only physically fit, but mentally fit and spiritually fit. So there's a lot of factors into how, depression or anxiety plays a part on the family as well. So that's pretty interesting, man, that you brought that up, man, because at the end of the day, what's more important than family, right? The family structure. You want it to function properly and to the best of its capacity, right? So this, was another statistic that was really interesting to me, that men are 3.5 times more likelier to die by suicide than women. Yo, it's hard out here. It's hard. It's the facts don't lie. It's hard out here to be a man, but at the same time, we need to create these spaces where men feel comfortable to talk to. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's an interesting fact right there, because it's a serious subject that's hard to even talk about. Everyone goes through their own things, but if you're talking about that and how much more likely they are, what do you think that is? Why do you think that is? As far as what have you observed from people, whatever? Why do you think that they're more likely to do it? Is it because they have more pressure? Is it because some would can attribute that to weakness, or is it just more troubling? Are they more going through more, or are they weaker? Why are they
All right.
this much more likely?
You know what's interesting to me, and I'm just speaking from a man, because just think of it from a perspective of your upbringing as a child or as a boy. You made a very interesting argument. You said in the 60s they'd be like, chin up, buddy. So at the end of the day, I'm speaking from a proud father of two, right? So I've got 2 little boys, and you know how it is as a Haitian. I'm just gonna get it down to like being a Haitian man. You don't get safe spaces, and I'm sure other black men, besides just being Haitian, other black men could probably relate to this. Shut up. Toughen up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as a child, we have to even teach our children. We have to have them understand that there's certain outlets that you can express yourselves. Because a lot of times men, we suffer from anger issues. And that comes from the fact that we don't have those outlets. So now if we can start young, this is what I'm learning right now as a father. I talk to my children. Whenever any issues that is in the house, right? I speak to them and I make sure they understand what's going on, and I also hear what they have to say as well. So I'm not just scolding them. I'm creating a channel where they can speak to me and they can understand that it's okay to speak to me and it's okay to talk about what's going on. Yeah. Why did you make this error? You get what I'm saying? So I think it's important to catch them while they're young too. And what about you? Like, what are certain things that you've noticed?
I've noticed. I know stories I consider myself pretty easy to talk to. So I have open doors to, have conversations with other men, women. I have conversations, and you can have your own personal opinion, and it's not like a competition on
Yeah.
who's more sadder or whatever. Everyone's their own personal person. Um, Men aren't given that space. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? It's toughen up. It's like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like what is going on with you? What's wrong with you? And it's never, hey, I'm here for you. It's more
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with you? It's always like societal wise, it's always like that too. You're expected to be a certain caliber,
Yeah.
and even if around you have all the support in the world, sometimes men just put that pressure on themselves. And now with access to social media, access to the world, access to see what you don't have versus what you do have, what others have accomplished versus what you haven't accomplished. And then you have your family members, immediate family members. You put this pressure on yourself, and there's also society that put pressure on you.
Yeah.
So there's the personal pressure, society pressure, and then there's God's pressure. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that's three levels of pressure that if you don't have the correct tools to navigate through spiritually, mentally, physically, you're going to lose yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that attributes to that statistic because whether we like it or not, men and women are different, right? And men have different chemicals in their bodies
Yeah.
that affect how they think. That's it. They're more goal orientated. Even when it comes to careers, they're more interested in things, using their minds to fix or build or whatever, even to create or whatever it may be. So I think that attributes to that specific statistic. But it could be other things. I'm not a licensed professional.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like certain therapists that are online, they dive deep into it a little bit as far as it could go as far as what happened to you when you were younger, your actual upbringing. Because like you said, you have kids and you're trying to teach them to communicate effectively because that's an important tool that a lot of people don't know how to
Yep.
do. I mean, so
You know what? You know how I deal with mental health throughout the day. Like when it comes to you guys, especially like my bros, men need to create that space where you can talk to your guy friends. A lot of men actually once they get married, they don't really hang out with I would say a wolf pack. So it's like a woman. I'm gonna be honest with you. Personally, I don't believe that men should like when it comes to certain things, men shouldn't discuss it with their wives. I'm gonna give you an example, right? If you're in a relationship with a woman, right, and you constantly, not saying that once in a while this won't happen, if you constantly just dump all your pressures on her, now she's going to feel like, okay, I may not be in the safe space, right? Now, that's why having a brotherhood, right, a wolf pack it's important because now it's like, yo, your bro's gonna be like, yeah, bro, like this is what you gotta do. He might give you personal, like good examples on how to, change the situation. But it's also that safe space, bro. Like if I talk to you and I'm going through something, man, just talking to you and laughing to you, like laughing with you, is like some form of release.
right,
You get what I'm saying? Even like going to the gym with your bros, that shit helps as well, bro.
right,
You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's really important, man. We need to bring back that brotherhood, that wolf pack, man.
right,
So it's a little different going to your girl about something because a lot of times they won't even be able to understand from your perspective.
right.
So I would say go talk to your bros, man. Go
Right.
talk to your bros. How do you feel about that?
I agree with you. You talk to who you feel most comfortable with, and sometimes if you're in a relationship with somebody, it's a bit more complicated than that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need to you need to have some type of masculine energy around you because yes, you can say you're going through something in a relationship and you think you go straight to some things you want to go straight to them with, of course, to be
Yeah.
honest. But there's other things where it could be something petty, and then your bros will remind you, "What she do? My wife did that to me 5 times last night." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's a reality check for you to be like, "Oh shit, okay, I I need to be this figure, and I need to either put my foot down or understand her to be a good leader or whatever. He's been through it. He's been through it. He's been through it. He's been through it. As long as I'm not being disrespected, this is the way I'm supposed to approach this.
Yeah.
So it's important to always have those multiple perspectives, and also therapy too. You know what I mean? Like therapy is okay. Like it's frowned upon in some cultures, especially we talk about Haitian culture. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
What is depression like in Haiti? I lived in a hut. We live in a mansion right now. You know what I'm saying? Like so that mentality that hey we've had much less over here, so we have everything here. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like it exists in a lot of cultures. But I understand that everyone is different, but I feel like no matter how different everyone is, therapy is always important because sometimes motherfuckers don't talk to nobody.
Yo, that's scary.
And they just have that voice in their head. And that I think we were talking about that 4 times more likely. I think that's what it is. Because if you don't got no friends, let's say you don't got no money, you don't got no opinions.
You ain't got no man.
You ain't got no opinion. And you don't have no company, somebody to make you feel good. And you just going through it, and then you have that demon in your head or in the back of your head that's just constantly talking. You need somebody to talk to. You need that that source of companionship. Not only that, you need somebody else to talk to. Like a good family reminded me that they were like, listen, let's say you don't talk to nobody, at least go talk to a professional or at least go to a therapist because you cannot be in your own head with this type of stuff, especially if you're not being healthy and you don't have the tools to treat those unhealthy thoughts or whatever might be going on. And unfortunately, given the statistic, a lot of men aren't given that opportunity and they don't know that knowledge to, let me go talk to somebody real quick. 'Cause why, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Why am I having these thoughts? What's more scary about this is when you think about it, it makes you come down to a level of reality, a certain vibration that makes you more aware of what's around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I ain't check on this person in a minute. Let me see how they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Now, you're not responsible for everybody. You're responsible for yourself. But sometimes that's what's scary about me. I'm like, damn, let me check on it. They're going through this. I know this person went through this. I wonder how they're doing.
I got a question to ask you, yo. What type of sometimes, we all experience like a depression at one point of our life. How do you know that you're reverting back to your ways? Like, how there's always a process in which, like, I don't know if anyone pays attention. There's always a process by which you revert back to that depressive state. So there's a whole bunch of things. Like me, anytime I get depressed, you won't hear from me. I promise you won't hear from me. You're like, where the fuck is HB at? Like, you know what I mean? Where the fuck is Pharaoh at? Like, because I go to a more regressive state. Like, I don't talk to nobody. Right. You feel me? I'm just more to myself. And I don't know if a lot of people notice that. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm sure there's people out there that goes through the same thing.
I mean, we were just talking about it, right? Like, we were just talking about it. Like, like that's what.
Are you like that as well? Oh, no, you are like that. 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
100%. We're like the same. Yeah.
That's that. We were just
I'm not gonna lie. I suck at if it was up to me fighting this battle alone, I'm losing 100 times out of 100. If it wasn't for the bros, and there's so many ways. We spoke about this recently. We just spoke about it, right? There's so many ways that that can help you fight that demon of depression, man. Because boy,
exercise, man.
Yo,
push-ups, man.
Hit those push-ups. When you go one-on-one with that dude, he is knocking you out. Yeah. So you gotta have those healthy outlets, man. Like 100%, man. 100%.
Yeah, it's you need those tools, man. Like we said, it's physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. Yeah, you're fighting all these battles, and you said I go through it too. Yes, and a lot of other dudes too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard to be as vulnerable because you don't want to seem weak. Yeah. At the same time, but you're ignoring reality, and reality is logic. You have to be logical when it comes to your personal health and the health of others. It's just as simple as that. If we want to break it down logically, like yeah, we could be like, hey, whatever. And the thing is, it's when you try to attack that problem, what I feel like is when you try to attack that problem, you're not only making yourself healthier,
Yeah.
but you're making those around you healthier too. Like for example, if Charlie had a problem, random name Charlie. I do know a person named Charlie though, but if Charlie had a problem
Yeah.
and everybody saw Charlie was having a problem, but Charlie was like, you know what, I'm gonna head to the gym, I'm gonna start exercising. Charlie started running. He seems happier, more energetic. He starts inspiring you. Yo, just come to the gym with me. Boom, y'all in the gym, whatever. Y'all talking. Hey, look, this is the goals right here. What your goals right here? Charlie starts to positively impact the people around him simply by the things that he was doing for himself.
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy? Like, there's certain when I look at like our friend group, right? I notice certain of our friends, they have that characteristic attached to them.
Right.
So that's how they live their life. And there's some people are gonna train you out of your depression. Some people are gonna give you an open space to talk to out of your depression. So to me, I think it's important that you go when you need that specific, when you know you need it, you go talk to that person that's performing at a great level, right? So
Right.
if it's that friend that you need, you need
Leading
to go
by
to
example.
100%. So if I have a friend right now, right, who makes it easy for me to talk to, I'm gonna go for him. I need
Right.
y'all. I need your personal opinion on things.
Right.
To be honest, when I need serious personal opinions on things, I literally go to you, bro.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's important to me, man.
Right.
100%, man. That's important.
I mean, that means a lot now, man. And there's people I go to for that too. And things are complicated sometimes when it comes to this. But what's most important is when you're confused about whatever's going on, is to understand that whatever's going on, there's always a path positively to move forward. And sometimes people don't like hearing that. Oh, perfect example. I'm gonna give it to you. My big sister, I love her to death. I would tell her about my day. She's like, okay. Now name 3 positive things today. And you know, it irks me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm telling her like, look, this is what's going on, and this is. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, because she's asking and all. I'm like, yo, look, to be honest, I'm like, all right. Now name 3 positive things today. And I'm like, yo, why she do this, bro? I don't want to talk about no positive things right now. And it's like, when you think about it logically, it's like, why not?
Right.
It's sort of another tool to use, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, enough of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth. Like, yo, what'd you have to eat today? Did you have lunch? Okay, how was that? Something positive.
Yeah.
Besides the glooming cloud of thunderstorms that you're thinking about right there, you're taking this one little good aspect of the day just to get out of those low vibrations.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes something that little. And we think about these third world countries. That's what they're doing, man. They're finding places to smile in these third world countries. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that sometimes, and it's annoying sometimes it's annoying to have that positive reinforcement. But it's good because it reminds you to get back to reality. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But statistically, let's get back to as far as like men's mental health here. Well, worldwide, it probably is the same worldwide, but I think it might be the statistics might vary in different parts of the world, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, yo? Do you think that certain countries have different statistics as far as when it comes to mental health?
Well, I would believe that. I don't think, as far as depression, I feel like that's something that's new. I don't think that our
You think it's
ancestors, yeah, like over probably like 100 years from now, like a stretch of 100 years, because everything's a little different. Back in the day, you wouldn't see someone just staying in the house. You know, a lot of us, we stay in the house. We don't get enough sunlight. You know, you might catch more people staying indoors now, right?
Right.
So our ancestors probably weren't going through a lot of this stuff.
Right.
I mean, but
I mean, shit, in Haiti, they had when they first got their independence, I like talking about it. I don't care. When they got that, they was probably going through a different type of depression, different type of sadness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That mental health was probably something different, but it was a liberation. You know what I'm saying? In America, in American society, you can go back and forth with, race, of course, is something different. That's a whole nother different story. But currently, every like man is in different places of pressure. Back then it was different from now. So, and also they didn't record all of that. It didn't exist, right? Am I being correct?
100%.
What did they call it? If anything, they called it. If anything, they called it you being crazy, right?
Yeah. So like I'm gonna be honest with you before we end this, right? As a man, right? We just gotta remember that it's important to keep a lot of these healthy outlets where you can operate in a level where it's the best. To operate on a level where you can perform your best, right? Now, I mean, there's different ways to cope with depression and stuff like that, and there's different places that you can go to help fight this. I would say like it's kind of like a disease, right? You can go to a local therapist. There's different places that you can go to. There's different forms or different coping mechanisms to help fight depression, man. So we just got to remember too those. We need those outlets where we can talk. Like I mentioned earlier, brotherhood.
Yeah.
So that's important to me, man.
Right. Right. All right. Before we are gone off this, I want to see if we could go through some statistics that you found interesting. Do you have any statistics you found interesting?
Yeah, well,
As far as when it comes to men's mental health specifically.
yeah, I got them right here. It's interesting though, man. Some other ones were about the breaking down the stigma. That was a pretty interesting fact that a lot of men don't have that place to go talk to. That was pretty interesting, and also like about the men are 3 times more likely to die by suicide. That was pretty interesting to me too.
Right. 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 I mean, yeah. There are a million things as far as percentage wise when it comes to this, but I feel like to end it we about to end it, right? To end it on a positive note, the statistics actually are, yeah, they're pointing towards the side of where men are struggling with the sharing, and also on top of that, think about the men that don't say nothing ever. They just, hey, go to the grave with it, like real, what do they call it? Sturdy, stoic.
Yeah.
Sturdy and stoic. You know what I'm saying? Stoicism is important when it comes to men, but at the same time, if you burning up inside, there's only a certain point where you crack. You don't never know what's gonna make you set off, whatever, and that's very dangerous. I would say, man, from my personal view, if there's anybody out there that's struggling with men's health, definitely exercise. And not all the time is you have somebody that's there that will say something that's helpful to you. Talk to a professional, exercise, meditate, understand that you are important, understand that people are out there who do care. That's it. You know what I mean? I think that's important right there, man. And we're gonna keep talking about men's health. I really like this episode, to be honest.
I do too.
I want to talk some more. I don't feel like we had enough time, to be honest. But
And also, we probably could have like a professional on the show too.
Right,
So,
right.
guys.
Definitely.
If you want to hear the perspective of an actual professional, we can provide that to you guys too.
Yeah. Let's definitely. I want to have a professional sit down with us, get into the nitty gritty with all of that, because at the same time, there's also outside sources as far as news being depressing, the food that you eat. Now, I mean, we getting poisoned on a daily basis. You feel me? As far as the things they selling in stores and all of that. So I feel like there's a whole nother way we can go with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blunt Tears, man. It's the blunt in reality. If you know somebody out there that's struggling, make sure that they get help. If you need help, make sure you get help. Eat healthy. exercise.
It's love for the blood of reality, man.
Yo, and we're out.
Yeah. Sauce, sauce, sauce. They ain't got no sauce, sauce, sauce. They ain't got no sauce, sauce, sauce.